Imagine the excitement of bringing a legendary NFL coach like Bill Belichick to a storied college football program, only to watch it spiral into chaos and ridicule. That's the jaw-dropping situation unfolding at North Carolina, where insiders are calling his NFL-style approach fundamentally flawed. But here's where it gets controversial. Could this be a case of overconfidence blinding a genius to the stark differences between pro and college ball? Let's dive into the details and see what really went wrong and why fans and experts alike are scratching their heads. Picture this. North Texas quarterback Chandler Morris had racked up an impressive 3,774 passing yards and 31 touchdowns during the 2024 regular season, when he entered the transfer portal right after. Just 2 days later, on December 11th, North Carolina shocked the world by announcing Bill Belichick as their new head coach. Morris, a sixth-year senior with prior stints at Oklahoma and TCU, eagerly expressed interest in joining forces with the six-time Super Bowl winner. Yet, Belichick's trusted general manager, Michael Lombardi, was already steering the roster overhaul. He passed on Morris, who stood about 6 feet and weighed 190 pounds with a decent but not overpowering arm. Instead, Lombardi favored Purdue's Ryan Brown, a taller 6'4", 210-pound prospect who had started just 2 games for a struggling 210 Boilermakers squad. This choice aligned with the NFL mold they envisioned. Lombardi didn't mince words when explaining to UNC's personnel team, a blend of veterans and newcomers, why Morris didn't fit. "You simply don't grasp what it demands to succeed in the National Football League," he reportedly told them, alluding to someone familiar with the private discussion. This source, along with over 20 others interviewed for this piece, spoke anonymously to protect their insights into the program's inner workings. Of course, excelling in the NFL doesn't automatically translate to dominating college football. For beginners wondering about the differences, think of it this way. NFL players are seasoned professionals with years of experience, while college athletes are often younger, still developing, and must balance academics with intense training. Morris's mobility could have been a game-changer behind an inexperienced offensive line, potentially allowing him to evade defenders more effectively than Brown. Brown did transfer to Chapel Hill, but later returned to Purdue. Morris, meanwhile, chose Virginia, a program without a winning season since 2019, and has propelled the Cavaliers into the AP Top 20 rankings. The Athletic reached out multiple times for comments from Belichick and Lombardi. Lombardi declined, and spokesperson Brandon Faber noted that Belichick and the team couldn't respond due to UNC's bye week and the coach's travel commitments. "It's the sheer arrogance that stings," a university insider shared with The Athletic. "Because of their NFL triumphs, really, just Belichick's, they believe they could swoop in and replicate success without understanding college football's unique dynamics. And this is the part most people miss. Just 5 games into Belichick's debut season, UNC has plummeted from a national contender to a laughingstock. Tabloid scandals about the 73-year-old coach's relationship with his 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, have given way to outright mockery of the 2-3 Tar Heels. Humiliating defeats, like 48-14 to TCU, 34-9 to UCF, and 38-10 to Clemson. The team ranks a dismal 133rd out of 136 in total offense, averaging just 263.8 yards per game, while opponents are completing a staggering 70.3% of their passes, 131st in the nation. Things have deteriorated so badly that Belichick, on a lucrative 5-year, $50 million deal signed last December, and athletic director Bubba Cunningham issued public statements on Wednesday addressing rumors of the coach's potential resignation. "I'm fully dedicated to UNC football and the vision we're crafting," Belichick declared, just 10 days after the New York Post splashed photos of him and Hudson on a romantic Nantucket getaway during a bye week in late September. He also attended a high school game in eastern Massachusetts that Friday. Many coaches prioritize recruiting during off weeks. Head coaches rarely get time away mid-season due to the packed schedule, Lombardi explained on his radio show. Statements from Carolina Athletics, pic.twitter.com/G8ZN6WalksTW, UNC Tar Heels, @GoHeels, October 9, 2025. With no game this week, a barrage of off-field headlines has kept UNC in the spotlight, sparking debates over accountability. On Monday, WRAL-TV in Raleigh aired a report detailing a fractured locker room, a disjointed coaching staff, and communication breakdowns. News broke that a planned Hulu documentary on UNC's season had been canceled for undisclosed reasons. On Tuesday, The Athletic revealed that cornerbacks coach Armand Hawkins was suspended for an alleged NCAA violation involving extra benefits, like providing sideline passes to a player's family. The university confirmed the suspension on Thursday. UNC student body president Adolfo Alvarez urged an independent review of the program's culture. Faculty Council Chair Beth Morocco concurred, describing the hiring process and its fallout as demoralizing for colleagues. She now views Belichick's arrival as a costly misstep fostering a circus-like environment. Faculty raised concerns about the decision-making and optics from the outset, said Morocco, an associate professor in health behavior. Many of us feel it's become a source of embarrassment. The anonymous sources, who have ties to the football program or university over the past year, painted a picture of arrogance and dismissal of the vast chasm between professional and collegiate football. Opinions varied on specifics, with one insider disputing claims of Belichick's detachment from players. Yet that same person acknowledged the duo's underestimation of coaching college kids, as seen in their bold statements about running UNC like an NFL team. "We see ourselves as the 33rd franchise," Lombardi proclaimed in February. "Bill Belichick excels at mentally preparing teams like no other coach I've seen," the insider noted. But the reality is, this isn't the 33rd team. It's a squad of young athletes. Chancellor Lee Roberts and Board of Trustees Chair Malcolm Turner have publicly called for patience amid the turmoil. Still, fans and university leaders question, who greenlit this? As losses mount and drama escalates, blame games intensify. This contrasts sharply with the optimism on Labor Day, when Kenan Stadium buzzed with UNC legends like Michael Jordan, Mia Hamm, and Lawrence Taylor celebrating Belichick's inaugural game. Ultimately, Roberts told The Athletic before the debut, success hinges on field results. From day one, Belichick's hiring divided opinions. When announced, Lombardi, a 66-year-old from New Jersey, left his VSIN show The Lombardi Line to join him in Chapel Hill. Their partnership dates back over 30 years, to 1991, when Belichick coached the Cleveland Browns and Lombardi handled pro personnel. After Lombardi's 2013 firing as Browns GM, he joined Belichick in New England. Lombardi recalled on the Pat McAfee show last December how they scouted UNC in 1992 and always saw it as enchanting. How could anyone not succeed here, he wondered. The winter transfer portal opened 2 days before their arrival, prompting a frantic roster shakeup. Belichick, an NFL lifer, had never recruited high schoolers. Lombardi's last college role was in 1984 at UNLV. Two university contacts described Belichick and Lombardi needing a quick tutorial on college NIL, name, image, and likeness rules, with no existing player connections. For context, the transfer portal allows athletes to switch schools freely, and NIL lets them earn money from endorsements, key tools for modern college coaches. Other programs, like Indiana under Curt Cignetti or Washington with Jedd Fisch, leveraged past relationships to bring players along. Belichick and Lombardi preferred independent evaluations, sources said, while Mack Brown's staff prepped for the Fenway Bowl. A departing Brown aide described chaos. Belichick had made few hires. Roles were undefined. It felt like a revolving door of people coming and going, the ex-staffer recalled. They let go of some assistants, then rehired them for help. As anticipated, Belichick appointed his son Steve as defensive coordinator, who brought two Washington players, cornerback Thaddeus Dixon and linebacker Kamori House. For offense, he elevated Mac Brown's tight ends coach, Freddie Kitchens, a former Cleveland Browns head coach. Lombardi, on a 3-year, $4.5 million deal, making him college football's highest-paid GM, handles agent negotiations. 6 agents with UNC ties or pursuits described him as abrasive or dismissive. One recounted Lombardi saying, "We don't get emotionally attached to players," and pitching, "Why turn down Bill Belichick?" Another noted an initial strong offer that dwindled. "It became impossible to close a deal without shortchanging my client." Agent Alvin Gibson, father of UNC defensive back Gavin Gibson, transferred from East Carolina, negotiated with Lombardi. "Mike is supremely confident in his talent assessment," Gibson said. "He's not unkind, just values production strictly. Fairness, I can't judge without knowing his criteria." An agent visiting with a top 200 high school recruit was stunned by coach's detachment. He confronted a position coach. "You should be all over this kid for days." Sources indicated Belichick and Lombardi misunderstood college salaries, which aren't public like in the NFL. They overspent in some areas while pinching pennies elsewhere. They assumed players would flock to Belichick for less, a university source explained, but learned otherwise quickly. UNC added 70 new players, 41 via transfers. Nearly 50 from the prior 6 to 7 squad departed, lured by bigger offers to places like Ohio State, Penn State, and Texas. Current defensive starters are often transfers who saw limited action at Power 4 schools. "We have 0 pro-level players," a program insider stated. Still, no one anticipated such dire struggles, with UNC faltering against top competition and likely missing a bowl game since 2018. Can Bill Belichick bridge the gap between NFL and CFD differences in the sport? Mike Waters, Images. Hiring a new staff is a major commitment, hard to reverse after 1 year. Belichick's loyalty ethos and hiring quirks add tension. Belichick was essentially hired by 2 trustees, John Prayer and Jennifer Lloyd, possibly breaching bylaws. Sources say they offered him a deal before athletic director Cunningham's involvement, pushing costs beyond planned levels. Belichick earns $10 million annually, double Mac Brown's, and top 10 nationally, though 8 higher-paid coaches have playoff success. With staff, revenue shares, and investments, UNC's commitment totals about $59.3 million. The state education president rebuked the board weeks later, temporarily reducing their power. Prayer and Lloyd remain. At his intro presser, Lloyd praised landing Belichick as low risk due to his accountability. "I'm proud of Chancellor Roberts," she said. "It would have been tempting to choose a 40-year-old college veteran." Cunningham sought proven college coaches. Sources suggest hiring someone like Tulane's John Summerall could have funneled Belichick's salary into the roster. Belichick's loyalty shows in hires. Lombardi has a 3-year deal. Belichick's sons and Lombardi's son are on staff. Struggles may force changes. Dumping Belichick would cost $20 million remaining, plus at least $9.25 million for staff buyouts. A former Brown staffer suggested Belichick might improve by parting with Lombardi. "That could give him a real shot," the ex-staffer said. "Belichick might salvage the season with an easy ACC slate. Only number 19 Virginia is ranked, with Stanford and Wake Forest under new coaches. They're losing now, but 7 games remain. We'll see," Gibson said. Winning them all to 9-3 would prove doubters wrong. But Lombardi's donor email, leaked via Football Scoop after the UCF loss, disappointed many. It outlined a long rebuild, citing coaches like Mac Brown, Nick Saban, and Jim Harbaugh's rough starts. "Not an excuse for our play," he wrote, "just awareness that championships take time." The plan: sign 40-plus high schoolers in December, 2 classes at once, and develop freshmen over transfers, which he called a cash grab. If that's the strategy, they're regressing, an agent countered. No one wins without the portal. Interviewees were appalled by the letter's patience plea, echoing the narrative. NFL pedigree guarantees success. Fans didn't react as intended, a senior official noted. Christopher Camrani, Grace Rayner, Ralph Russo, and Matt Baker contributed to this report. What do you think? Can a coaching legend like Belichick adapt to the college game? Or is this a classic case of pro-arrogance? Is the controversy over his hiring and the program's struggles justified? Or are critics too quick to judge? Share your opinions in the comments below. Do you agree with the insiders or see a different angle?